another type of secretory tissue which we are supposed to study is glandular tissue. These tissues have special glandular structures, and these glandular structures have both secretory and excretory products. Excretory products, and these may be both unicellular or multicellular. And these may have cavities, or some may have or may not have cavity. In the cells, many glandular tissues have been identified or been categorized on the basis of the position and the basis of the occurrence of the tissue where these type of glandular tissues are occurring, of which we have some tissues like, as I said earlier, in the secretory tissues, these glandular tissues are recognized on the basis of the structure and the position, on the function and the structure which they are occurring. These are divided into different categories. Those are, for example, we have nectar glands and digestive glands which are seen in the epidermis, or these are also called as internal glands. And here we have other glands, these are also called as internal tissues. We also have oil glands, mucilage glands, resins, tannins. These are and digestive glands which secrete some enzymes. Now here we also have a structure called as, terminology called as hadathodes. Hadathodes are the types of tissues which are located in the internal glands. These are a type of internal glands. And nectar glands, these are nectar glands, and another one, the nectar glands and glandular tissues. Nectar glands and glandular tissues are present in the epidermis. The tissues which are present in the epidermis, all these are come under external glands. Now different types of glandular tissues hadathodes are included in the internal glands. These are helpful for the guttation process. And another few types are called as nectar glands, and as well as some glandular tissues are located in the epidermis. So with this regard, on the basis of the structure and the position and the functioning, there are different types of glandular tissues which we will be discussing now, of which the first one is called as oil glands. Oil glands are the glands which are internal with aromatic oils. These are the glands which are present internally and with aromatic oils in them. Aromatic oils and volatile oils. These are formed due to the breakage of the existing cells with the aromatic cells. How these oil glands are formed? These are the glands which are formed because of the breakage of the existing cells with the aromatic cells. And these are, what is the process of formation of oil glands here is, it will break the existing cells with the aromatic cells and lead to the formation of the new cells. Those are called as oil glands. After the degeneration of the old cells, or after the degeneration of the broken cells which have been occurred, and these oil glands will store the substances in the glandular cavities. These cavities are lysogenous in nature. Now, as we said earlier, oil glands are formed because of the breakage done to the existing cells with the aromatic cells, and after the breakage of these existing cells, these cells get degenerated. So after the degeneration of the broken cells, the aromatic cells are stored, aromatic oils are stored in some cavities. Those are aromatic oils are stored in some cavities. Those are called as glandular cavities, and these cavities are more or less in lysogenous in nature. So these cavities can also be called as lysogenous type of cavities having lysogenous nature. These are the glandular cavities are lysogenous in nature, and this type of oil glands are normally found in citrus, eucalyptus and Phoenicum vulgare. Okay, these examples are very important. You will get a question like citrus, eucalyptus and Phoenicum vulgare are example for dash type of glands, oil secretory glands. Those are oil glands. Okay, next one we have is glands secreting resins and gums. These are internal glands. Now, in gymnosperms and angiosperms, these internal glands secrete resins and gums. Now again, these in gymnosperm and angiosperms, these glands are useful for the secretion of resins and gums and also for conducting them. And in gymnosperms, these glands are present in both longitudinal and in horizontal way and horizontal system. But in the plants of apiaceae of angiosperms, they are restricted only to some of the localized cells. Some localized cells. After maturation, these gum secreting glands will form an epithelial layer towards the inner side of the ducts. So another type of glands which we are supposed to study here is the digestive glands. Now, what is the use of digestive glands? Why we are using the word digestive in the glands? Here is, for example, in some insectivorous plants. What are insectivorous plants? Like Drosera, Nepenthes, Dionia. These are the few insectivorous plants as per your syllabus. So, what is the use of digestive gland is, normally these insectivorous plants, as few examples we have taken here, Drosera, Nepenthes, Dionia, these normally grow in nitrogen deficiency medium or nitrogen deficient soils. So, in order to fulfill the nitrogen deficient soils, these plants, in insectivorous plants, what they will do, they will kill the insects and they obtain the nutrient from these insectivorous plants. They kill the insects, they obtain the nutrients from the dead bodies of the insects which they have killed, and for this purpose these insectivorous plants require special glands, those are called as digestive glands. And these digestive glands which are required for the overcoming of the nitrogen deficiency of insectivorous plants will secrete a proteolytic enzyme and later they absorb the nutrients. For example, these glands are located at the tips of the tentacles in Drosera. So, these are the plants. For this purpose, insectivorous plants develop a special glands which secrete some type of proteolytic enzymes. Later, they absorb the nutrients from them. And for example, where these are located in the tentacles, tip of the tentacles of the Drosera plants. Next one is hadathodes. Another one is for example, what is hadathodes? Hadathodes are also called as water pores. These are useful for the process of guttation. It is nothing but in order to it is a gland which is used to release the excess of water from the plant body, and these possess some external structures where there is a state of low rate of transpiration is there and excess of water to be excreted out. Then this type of glands are coming into function. Those are called as hadathodes. These are modified structures and are termed as, so in some plants, in order to release excess of water, some plant possess special structures. Those are occurring at the time when there is a slow rate of transpiration and an excess of water to be excreted out. So these hadathodes helps in the excretion of water from the plant, and these are structure is similar to that of the normal stomata. What is the function of stomata? It is maintaining of the air balance. So normal stomata structure, whatever it is there, it is similar to that. Hadrosaurs resemble to the normal stomata, but when coming to the size, they are much larger than the normal stomata, and they are useful for the secretion of the water. And usually these are hadrosaurs are located at the apex of the leaves of pistia and eichhornia, and also occurs in the plants which grow in the moisture like grasses, and also in grasses. Okay. Now these are occurring at the apex of the leaves of pistia and eichhornia, and also seen in the moisture in the plants which grow in moisture like grasses and nasturtium. Okay. This is about hadrosaurs. Hadrosaurs are also called as water pores. It is helpful in the exudation of excess of water, that is called as guttation process, and these are similar to that of the appear as if they are normal stomata, but comparing to structure they are more larger than the normal stomata, and these are helpful in the removal of excess of water, secretion of water, and these are present at the apex of the leaves of pistia and eichhornia, and also in the plants which have moisture like grasses and nasturtium. These are external glands. Another topic we have is glandular epidermal hairs. These are, till now we have studied about internal glands. One more we will study is external gland. This is an external gland. These are also called as glandular trichomes, which secrete glandular trichomes which secrete salt solution, sugar solution, nectars, salt solution, sugar solution, nectars, terpenes, gums, and polysaccharides. Now, usually in halophytes, there are some secretory glands which help in the excretion of the excess of salt which is present in the halophytes. So, those type of glands are called as salt glands. Each hair consists of a sac-like secretory cell. Each hair consists of a sac-like secretory cells which is present at the tip of the narrow stalks. It dries up at mature stage, but the salt remains here as a white dry layer. Most of the salt glands in this form are of multicellular types. Most of the glands of this type are multicellular hairs. Okay, the example for this is Avicennia, Tamarix, and Limonium. So, what are these glands? These are the external glands. These are glandular trichomes which are secreting salt solution, sugar solution, nectars, terpenes, and gums and polysaccharides. In some halophytes, we see the secretion of excess of salts. Those are called as salt glands, and these glands are normally occurring in the form of multicellular hairs, and the example for this will be Avicennia, Tamarix, and Limonium. Okay. Now, one more point is the nectar secreting glands are called as nectaries. These are nectar secreting glands. Now, the hairs with these glands are called as nectars. The hairs which are associated with this type of glands are called as nectar secreting trichomes, Okay. Now, almost entomophilous in almost all the entomophilous pollinated plants, in almost all the entomophilous pollinated plants, they mostly secrete nectar, and though this through this special type of glands, and this type of glands are used for secreting and attracting the insects towards them. Now these nectar glands which are present, which are helpful for the attraction of the insect in pollination, they are not present internally, but they are specially adopted and located external to the. These glands are not located specially, these are located towards the external part, externally towards the floral parts. These are located externally in floral parts. In this nectars, cuticle is absent. In this nectars, cuticle is absent over the epidermis. Nectar is secreted out from the cell wall. Nectar is secreted out from the cell wall. Now, glandular trichomes which secrete nectar occurs in many parts of the flower. Example, in a plant flower called as Lonicera japonica. In these plants, like for example, the glandular trichomes which secrete nectar occurs, we said glandular trichomes which secrete nectars occur in the flowers. So for example, there are two examples here, Lonicera japonica and Tropiolum majus. In these plants, the nectar is secreted through the unicellular hairs in the corolla. Nectar is secreted through the unicellular trichomes in corolla. In plants like Lonicera japonica and Tropiolum majus, the nectar is secreted in the form. Nectar is secreted with the help of unicellular trichomes in the corolla, and in many species of Malvaceae like hibiscus, Abutilon indicum, many multicellular hairs form a group, join together and form a group at the base of the calyx and secrete nectar. So at the base of the calyx and secrete nectar, and the cells which secrete nectar will have more endoplasmic reticulum. The cells which secrete, normally the cells which are used, which secretes the nectar, the endoplasmic reticulum is more. Some glandular trichomes are there which will be having stings. Stings means like pins it will have, pointed ends. These are called as stinging hairs. Some glandular trichomes have stings associated with them, and this type of trichomes are called as stinging. These are called as stinging hairs. They possess a needle-like secretory structures. Secretory cells at the tips. Glandular trichomes have stings. These are called as stinging hairs. As they are in the form of needle, the substance, they possess needle-like secretory cells which are present at the tips. Now, at the base of the sac, with the toxic substance, if they have needle-like secretory cells, they have acetylcholine and histamine substances in them which are useful for the cutting of the animal skin. So these are the different types of secretory tissues, or you can say special type of tissues which are helpful in your syllabus.